Hi, Andrew Smith again, and this video is about trade shows and exhibitions. As you know, I've performed for Eric Clapton, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, Emma Thompson, Mr. Bean, been on television, in China, magazines throughout the world, and performed in China, Hong Kong, and many places around the world. This is all due and in thanks to me seeking for high net worth customers and these Fortune 500 customers, and being able to position myself so that I can charge 4 to 6 times what my competitors' rates are. And I've got all of this from trade shows. So why trade shows? 97% of my biggest and best customers have come from people I've met at exhibitions or directly from referrals from those customers. It is definitely the single best place to get started. Trade shows and exhibitions. Why trade shows, I hear you ask? Well, customers with money travel to and are all in one building. All their representatives, the gatekeepers, the specialists, and to keep them up to date with their own learning and their own development, they get to see you work, see you perform, see you speak, see whatever it is that you're doing, see your products and services. They're there because of their interest in it. People who visit are generally really interested in your topic and are there to learn. They have paid money, they've taken time out of the office, travelled, often overnight accommodation, sometimes they've flown around the world. So they are serious, they don't come to that exhibition for no reason at all. And the greatest thing about trade shows is that you can meet customers with money live and face to face. You get to start to build the relationships, you'll know, like and trust, and the networking opportunities are fantastic. It's the right type of networking. They can be B2B or B2C, and as I say, they attract international buyers so that you get to see the world and get paid for it. So where do you start, I hear you ask? Well, I mentioned hobbies, trade shows, yours, experience mine, the pharmaceutical industry, I was in financial services. They're great places. I know I covered a lot of this in the last video, so I'm moving quite quickly about this. In the UK, events industry, like Confex, and you've got the restaurants exhibition, which is Square Meal. And I did mention that you've got to have a dedicated website, a dedicated email for your niche. You don't need to be a generalist, you are a specialist. And you've got to have your auto response facility all up and running so that you can add value down the line. Remember, you're a specialist when you do a trade show. And of course, you've got to be talking about them and not you. First of all, I suggest you start identifying venues and trade shows. Get on the old Google, look up your industry, see what's on, put on your best dress, your suit, go visit, take a look, and talk to people, ask some questions. You know, the big 12 I keep going on about. Remember, you're not there to sell. Talk to people, ask questions, use those big 12 questions, turn it into a survey, and start the conversation. So, trade show tips that you can use, things like when you're there and you're exhibiting, you can offer your guests tips and advice. Your aim is to get to know your clients, so ask those questions. You know, when I'm exhibiting, I'll ask them give them 5 tips for a successful trade show or exhibition. I'm not there to sell, I'm there to help and develop the relationship. I keep going on about building relationship. There's 2 parts of getting to the becoming the dominant brand, is helping relationships development and personal image and branding, and adding personality to your marketing. So you can do both of those really well at a live event. Live events are the way forward. Remember, your agenda is not necessarily their agenda, so don't expect to sell on the first time you meet them. Um, it's a bit like having a relationship when you go out with someone for the first time. You're not necessarily aiming to get them into bed, you're aiming to book the second appointment and go to the movies, and then the next time you go to the movies and a meal, etc., etc. You're building and developing the relationship. You don't get out the wedding ring, engagement ring on the first date. Give, but the objective is to gain leads at a trade show. So, you know, your main goal is to get their contact details. So, probably the best way to do that is not to actually give out your business card. Is just say that, let me have yours, and I can send you some further information. Yeah, sure, fine, thanks very much. They'd be happy to do that, and then follow up on the day, follow up. Certainly within a week, and then keep following up. The number of exhibitions I go to, the people take my card, and I probably do 1 to 2 exhibitions a month, and on average for the past 10 years, and I can count on certainly probably 2 hands the number of companies that actually follow up after the exhibition. It is appalling. People just don't do it. I do the follow up, and I have generated a big business. They waste their time, their money. They don't put me on the mailing list. They don't take me further. They zap me. They might send me a complimentary email once, but that's it. You've got to follow up. And on the day when you're there, wear your comfy shoes. Don't wear high heels. I have found it so difficult walking around in high heels all day. It is crippling. And if you've got a 3-day trade show, it just doesn't work. Especially when I say don't sit down on the stand, don't have your mobile phone on the stand, and don't eat coffee or drink coffee while you're there, because it's not professional. Go off the stand, have a break, get other people to cover the stand while you're off. Big tip also is get there early. Be the first in the hall. Exhibitions open at 10. I'm usually in there at 8. Set up for the day. Gone off and found a coffee, bacon sandwich. Talk to other exhibitors as they come in. Say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you're doing. It's just be there early and be the last to leave. Everyone's keen except on the last day when everyone's packing up to get out the door. You're in the way, but on the midweek ones where you've got the exhibition open the next day, be there, talk to people, chill, relax, don't be in a rush. Drink plenty of water while you're on the stand. You can suck that, I don't mind you drinking water on the stand. It's sensible. You're there, you're talking a lot, you've got to keep hydrated, keeps your focus. Also, I suggest you take away any chairs from your stand. The idea is not to sit down, the idea is to have a conversation. If you get tired, you're so tempting to just sit down and take the weight off your ankles for a bit. Worst thing, as soon as you sit down, your energy and enthusiasm goes. The customers that are coming past you will see that you don't really give a flying fish, because you get your phone out while you sit down, and you really, really are doing yourself no favours at all. When it comes to promotional material, make sure it's got packed full of value statements. I've done a separate video on that. If you haven't seen it yet, drop me an email and I'll send you the link. Business cards. I mentioned business cards. Yes, have business cards, but really try not to give them out. Your main goal is to do it. If you give out your business card and don't get one in return, you have lost that lead. You want to only give a business card after you have got their contact details. Get help on the stand. That's a huge tip. The more people you can have on the stand gives you a chance to wander off, to circle the hall, meet people, network. It gives you the opportunity to take frequent breaks, keep refreshed, keep energy up, and it makes your stand look busy as well. And you can all take regular breaks. Best thing to do is get loads of people on your stand. When you've got a stand, you and all your team should know what it is that you offer your customers. Why you, why me, why this and why now. That's what your clients want to know when they come past. It should be written on the back. You don't need too complicated graphics, you don't need it too big, you just need to answer these questions so they can easily see who you are, what you do for them, why they need it and why they need it now. But as I say, the overall thing is starting a conversation, and everyone says, oh, what brings you to the show? Oh, I came by MTR, Underground, bus or taxi, or I drove. Are you staying locally? These sort of questions are a bit, well, weak. Then people upgrade them a bit and say, well, what are you hoping to get from the show? Again, these can be a bit weak. I think you can go in a lot deeper and get a better conversation if you start asking what is their biggest challenge this year. But again, that's a bit bland. A great question at networking events is to ask them things like, what are you passionate about? Where have you been on holiday lately? What's the most fun part of what you do? What's the most challenging? If you were not doing this, what would you be doing? If money were no object, what would you do? These are sort of things that get conversation going, and you can have a laugh and a joke and talk seriously if that's needed, and really get to know the people, and you will stand out in their minds because they've got a relationship. They see it, that you care, and you are willing to listen. I mentioned going on, where's the most interesting place you've ever visited? What's the scariest thing you've ever done? That's a great question. People don't expect that when you stop them in the aisle at an exhibition. What do you do when you're not working? Shake it up a bit. That's what it's all about. Get these questions, get your mind thinking, get to enjoy it. Now, how do you stop a crowd? How do you actually get people to stop? You can do it market trader style. Roll up, come and buy this, come and look at that. I work with a magician friend at several exhibitions, and I've seen him work, and it always makes me laugh. He's got a deck of cards in his hand, and other entertainers think it's the technicality of his cards that stop people. People don't want to see a card trick. What Harry does is he steps into the middle of the aisle in his lovely pinstripe suits and thrusts his arms out wide and says, "Give us a cuddle." And people are stunned, shocked, frightened, I should think, but also they stop, think, well, it wakes them out of their trance, it gets the conversation started, and then Harry invites them onto the stand, has a chat, asks them a couple of other questions. But give us a cuddle, it's a great one. And just ask them value statement questions. They definitely get in there. But the Harry Robson approach, I think, is great. But it's not for every personality. It's depending on who you are. But the most important thing is you've got to smile. Remember, if you're working on another client stand, attracting a crowd, or if you're sharing a stand, you're both after stopping people. It's important that you talk to as many people as you can, and the easiest way to do that is to smile. Breaks, use them, take them, get out there, use the time, network. Go and ask someone if they want to have a cup of coffee with you. Get out there, ask them the 12 questions and see what you've got out of it. You've got to build your know, like and trust. That's what you're there to do. You're the live events. Spend the time making conversation. It's about quality, not necessarily quantity, but you want quality. You've got to identify if it's a quality lead. If it is, that's great. Focus on it. If it's not, smile nicely and send them on down the road to your competitor. And follow up. Follow up. I've mentioned it before, I will mention it again. The dominant brand approach is to make sure that you become a trusted advisor and become seen as a trusted advisor by that client and potential client. And to do that, it's about finding out how you can help them and developing that trust. You are a specialist in your field, so you should know pretty much everything that's going on in the industry, the entertainment industry, photographic industry, what people want, what they don't want, developments. You've got to stay attached. It's your passion, it's your desire, your field. You should know everything, and your job is to position yourself so that you are definitely that specialist in the field. You don't talk about yourself. I mentioned that before. How can you? You don't know who you're talking to, what person they are in the chain of events. You know, exhibitor, agent, gatekeeper, client, audience. You need to find out who they are. So you've got to have clear objectives at a trade show. You've got to commence the conversation, collect business cards. That's your main focus, so that you can develop and forward the relationship. Different people have different needs. I'd say follow up daily at the exhibition. Send them an email before they get home so they've not forgotten you. They can read it on the train or wherever on the way back to the hotel, and you are following up. So ideas to help you keep going is publish your face, be generous, help your client, be social, let people interact with you on social platforms, keep it positive, create awesome, relevant content, be the expert, keep smiling. This can be difficult at the end of a long day. So as I say, remember, keep smiling, take loads of breaks and drink lots of water. Get help on the stand. Smile. Testimonials. Get help. More people on the stand. Ditch the clown suit. Wear a suit. Wear the best suit you can afford. Locate the coffee, lunch, bacon sandwiches, the toilet. It's a way of breaking the ice. Have you tried the bacon sandwiches? Wicked. Don't try that cafe, or try that. The coffee over there is better than over there. That's the sort of thing people want to know when they're looking at. You can have an occasion. Come on, I'll buy you a cup. Come on with me, and then have to go and have a conversation. Remember, they don't want to see your card tricks if you're a magician. They don't want to see what you do. They want to meet you, the personality. Why have they come to the show? They have definitely not come to see you flick a few cards, take a few pictures, talk medicine. They are there to learn. So walk and talk the halls. Trade shows are hard work. Yeah, but I love trade shows. They are the best way. They've got me 97% of my top business, as long as you follow up afterwards. So how would you feel if you were able to charge 4 to 6 times your competitors' fees? How would quality customers and clients affect your business? What would you do with all that extra time? You could spend it doing the things you love and enjoy with the people you love. Together we can do this. Email me at andy@askandysmith.com if you've got any questions. There's some additional resources at askandysmith.com, and if you're interested, I've got a Facebook group I've set up. It's a warm and friendly chat. It's the fireside chat about getting better quality clients, paying premium prices for your services. So come and join us over there and get some access to more videos and more training. Look forward to speaking to you soon. Thanks, bye.